So your transmission will look like this when you've got it torn down. Currently, it looks like this. So you're going to tear this whole thing down, get it to where it's just the gears and whatnot. So to give this repair some perspective, we don't commonly rebuild transmissions. You may come in to do like an input shaft bearing, a counter shaft bearing, an output shaft bearing. Maybe you got an issue with the speedometer drive. This is old school. Or you could have a problem with the shift fork. You know, maybe the shift fork is bent and it will go into, let's say like this is fourth and this is third, for example. Maybe it'll click into fourth, but it won't go into third because this fork is bent kind of like this or whatever. You'd really need to know why you're coming into this transmission and what repair you're doing. So let's just say you had a fourth gear grind. So when you go to third, it clicks well. You go to fourth and it's kind of like a that might be the synchronizer ring right here in brass. So if you wanted to fix that, you'd tear the transmission down to this point, which you're gonna do, and you did. And then, you know, to be thorough, you can even pull the shift forks out, but you know, there's not really a ton to it. You'd pull this detent plug and slide a spring, a little detent out, and then you could actually pop it out. But let's say that you're going to do this synchronizer ring for fourth, and we could talk a lot about the diagnosis of this, but I've got a pretty good video on how to diagnose it. If we're going to do this, here's what we do next. You'd pull this whole assembly off. You'd have to pull the rails, but you're not going to do that. You're not going to split this shaft, the gears and bearings of the shaft. You're going to use one of our practice shafts. Let me show you where those are at. All right, so over here we got some practice shafts. So Rotseni's going to be the worker today. Let's say you could do this one. This one would actually be really easy, Rotseni. You could do this one, or we could take a look at one of these. See, let's say you're going after that brass synchronizer ring right there. You got to get to it. This one's not real well put back together. It looks like it's missing its snap ring and stuff. This one could be promising. See, people are getting a little lazy. They're not putting their snap rings back in there. It's all right. You can go after this one. You're going to get at this brass ring right here, but to do so, we'd have to take a snap ring out of that groove, which is already gone. You're going to have to pull this hub, right? This is the hub. Then you got the blocker ring here, or the synchronizer ring. Then beneath that is a speed gear. So let's at least get down to where the speed gear is going to come out. I'm going to hand it to you. And then I just wanted to say, this that slid off, this is a bearing. There's a lot of times, this is the bearing for the speed gear. A lot of times these are split. This has a particular failure point. So the work I want you to do is really going to be tied to like understanding what part. So this would make it grind. If we had damage on these teeth, if they're worn, a lot of times that'll make it pop out of gear. If we had a damaged tooth on the speed gear itself, that would be a noise, especially when we're in that gear, but you'd still hear it even if it wasn't in that gear, you know. So if we had that bearing, like if this was the speed gear bearing, this would be noisy in every gear except for when you pick that gear. So if it was noisy in every gear except third, you'd probably go to third and pull the third speed gear off and replace this bearing, right? So you're just linking it to how it works. Then come on over here and let's do some work on the press. So if you were to make a plan, we need to split this off of here. So when we go to do that, we need to have a gear splitter here, and then we need to put this shaft is going to press that center one out. So let's pick a gear splitter. Ooh, this one, you might be lucky. This one might work, right? So here's your gear splitter. One thing I must tell you is do not do it like this, because then you're going to bend the bolt. Do it like this, and now the force is being absorbed by the actual splitter, right? So let's say, let's see if that one will pop in there. It might fit. Sometimes you can have to do some adjustments. Yeah, see, so you have to open it up by unthreading these a little bit, open it up and just try to get it to catch this. You might even get it to catch on that lower bearing, I mean between those speed gears, but ideally I was hoping that we could catch it in here, but let's see how it goes. And we do have quite the assortments. Like this is a special plate to grab something like that. There's also a chance that the exact plate you need is going to be in here. So that one's definitely small. That one actually might be decent, right? But same thing, it's a split plate, and you'd actually loosen these bolts, open it up, put it together in the spot that you want it to pull the part you want off. And so Routzenny's working it, he's getting it really good, but just note, you guys, you can't, I don't think this was our class, but you can't tear these shafts down and then just pile the stuff all. Like, we got to get these together. Now you start to see why we're not using the actual transmission ones, but at the same time, it starts like this. When Routzenny's done, it's going to look like that, right? There you go. Now you're getting it. Very nice. And then right here, we notice we used to have a box of rags. Lewis is actually getting a box of rags. So when you press this, the whole thing will fall into a nice padded box with a bunch of towels in it. But I don't know why it's missing. See, it's just going to slam on the floor. So we'll catch it. We put a chair just in case we don't catch it, but we're going to get the nice padded box set back up in a minute. All right, I like your setup. I got 2 points that we're going to make. You see this distance? That's too much. So what could we do? Option 1, you make some janky stack up of stuff. That's not really safe. So for now, you know what we're going to do? Yeah, exactly. Move the table. So if you pull those 2 pins, I'll pull these 2. And if that one's under tension, you ready? Here's what we'll do. I'm gonna try to lower it. See if it. Yeah, there you go. That should pull. Yep. Boom. Right. So we just had to fine tune this a little bit. Now, when I crank this up, you can see it's gonna lift it, and we'll get an idea of exactly how high we want this. We'll probably go. It's probably gonna be actually maxed out. All right, get ready to pop that lower right pin in there. Okay. Got to go up, maybe down a little. Okay, gotcha. All right, and then what I like to do is just take a little tension off there because we don't really want it putting any tension on the cable. All the weight needs to be on the pins, all right? Okay, now some basic press functions. Right here, let's take a look at, this is on, so that means when we pump, it'll move. When we go off, let's check this out. When we go off, it'll release. You see that? Okay. Then the low pressure on, this is going to be fast moving but not build a lot of pressure. So right now you'll watch the difference here. Boom, really fast, but not a lot of force. Right, so just to be aware, I tend to like to put it this way, but when you get there and you want to start making a lot of force, putting it like that, you're going to make more. All right, but for now, we can do this. Now, we're just going to double check. We did get the little ring off of there. Yeah, I like it. I mean, we're pulling multiple things at a time, but that's okay. All these will come off just fine. Getting this clip off can be interesting. You need some good snap ring pliers, some strong ones. Sometimes we'll even use a needle nose like this to catch the edges and smack it off with a hammer. So it's kind of a bummer that was missing, but typically that's missing because they go flying. So that'll be, you guys will figure that out on your own. All right, so Routzenny, we're gonna do on and low pressure on. So on, and you go ahead and give us a pump.
Hold on, this one is a snap ring.
Oh, let's take a look. That's okay, that's for the, that is, I think we're gonna be good on there. Yeah, you're right, I see that. I think that's really the retainer for the keys, and these little keys are missing. So I think we're good. We are good. Good observation though. So on, keep it on, and low pressure on, and then give us a few pumps. Nice. Then right here, this, we'll just move it a hair. Now it's pretty centered. Go ahead. All right, keep pumping a little bit. All right, now you felt it, right? You could feel how it got kind of hard to push. Now what I want you to do is once you feel that firmness, I want you to watch this gauge. Pump it a little. You saw that needle move just a hair, push a little more. You're good. This one's moving easy. So pause right there for a moment, because when you go to do this, depending on how firm this is, or like how stuck it is, you'll go to move it, you'll go to pump it, this won't move, that's when it builds pressure. So if you start to see your pressure up here at 5 tons, even 10, that would mean that there's something binding. What could be binding? Well, for example, you forgot the snap ring or something, right? So if you start to see high pressure here, that's when this gets scary. If you're pumping it and you don't see any pressure build up, we're not real worried about it. Oh, there we go. There's the big cushion. Throw the whole thing right in. That'll be great. Come on, Uncle Louie. You're on YouTube now, dude. Thank you. Okay, so this is good. The fact that we don't have big pressure building up, there's nothing to be afraid of here. The press can be scary. The press is scary when that pressure's high and you hear a crack and you're just not sure you're something about to break and hit you. But go ahead and we'll give it a pump here, and I'm gonna catch it, but just in case I don't, we got a pillow down there. Keep going. See, it's moving super easy. We're good. Okay, boom, just like that. There you go. No surprise, this is the speed gear bearing. So if that was third and it was noisy in every gear but third, this is what we're replacing for, repair. Now from here, let's turn that to the left one to off. See how that'll retract up, give us some room. Okay, and then right here, we're gonna keep these really in order. So this bench was left a mess, not by our class, but we gotta work with who we got to work with. Let's go ahead and lay that down. This is the end we pressed, right? So this part's were here. So I'm just gonna organize it exactly how it came off. This is gonna be here. Little sucker wants to roll. I'm gonna pull this whole setup right here. Lay it down the way we took it off. And then you can break it down, right? So like this. Ooh, the synchronizer ring's a little stuck. And then actually, I'm just gonna lay them down like this, okay? So I didn't flip them, so these go off straight and go right on, straight and right on. This, go ahead and try to get that blocker ring out of there. You should be able to get it. I just couldn't get it with one hand. Twist it a little bit. I don't think there's anything holding that one on. Yeah, so there you go, boom. This right here, real common for making it grind. So what we're gonna do, man, this thing is fresh. I don't think this was ever really used. If you look at those teeth in there, in addition to my wonderful fingerprints, those teeth are nice and sharp. I can feel them. When we go to shift, that sleeve, which I'll show you in a moment, is gonna push the key right here, and the keys are gonna push this synchronizer cone clutch onto this speed gear cone clutch, and that one is so fresh. That's going to grab this really nice and synchronize the speeds, and your shift is going to be smooth because we're going to have a sleeve that's going to connect the hub and the speed gear, which will lock the speed gear to the shaft ultimately, right? So this is actually this one's good, but again, these gears broken make noise, these gears worn make pop out. This one doesn't so much wear on the cone clutch because this is brass. The brass part, if those little cone clutch teeth are worn, that's more like a grinding when shifting into gear, right? This is going to be making noise in every gear except for this particular speed gear, right? So you just go in and let's just say it had a grind in third and this is third gear, grind shifting into third, you'd replace this and you put it back together. If it had any of those, you just are going to go in and do the repair, right? So if you can do this part, you could potentially go further. It looks like this shaft bottoms out right there. There's some sort of a boss on there. So probably all these would have to come out this side, and you can do as much or as little as you want. Ooh, that one's got the nice clip on there. That snap ring, those are tough. But again, you guys will tear these shafts down, take a picture, lay a clean layout, and when we go to press this back on, there's a little bit of a technique. So I'll let Ratseni get as much practice as he wants, and then we'll go ahead and press it back on. We got to drive it a certain way. All right, so we've elected to go further, which is good. It's a good lesson for everybody. I'm gonna just show you, then you're gonna do it. I'm gonna catch it on video. You could try to use snap ring pliers on this, but I probably wouldn't. This is the setup right here. If you get those to hit just right, then we're gonna actually smack the end of this. Go ahead, grab those for a quick second. I'm even gonna switch hands. That's how you know I'm really serious. And then while those are in the right spot, I'm actually gonna tap this, but you know why I'm not gonna right now? That clip is gonna go flying, and so I'm gonna be smart, and I'm gonna grab this. This is the SST. Make sure you got it on there pretty good. And we're just gonna kind of tangle it up. Just hang it right here like this so it can't go flying that much. Right, if you hold the needle nose, I'll do the hit. Turn it a little bit this way. There we go. Okay, ready? Popped off.
Almost. Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
So there's your SST, goat roping hillbillies. Otherwise, you can spend a bunch of money if you want, but this is, you could use your chonies if you want to, and just some needle nose, pinzas, the special martillo, and that's it. So that one's off. Now when we go to put this back on, honestly, we may need to squeeze this down a bit. If you're really doing a proper repair, this is probably kind of like one-time use. But you got that one off. We could split some. Then when we get ready to reassemble it, we'll come over and show you the way.
So I'll take it off from here.
On this one, you can probably actually pull it all the way from down here. It'd be real easy. It's just going to pull all three of them off at once. Yep, and so guess what? Now where we're at, you can see now this table's got to get dropped. So it's not hard work. You're just readjusting and doing that type of stuff. We'll take care of that. We'll jump back on when we're pressing it back together. All right, so there's your whole tear down, right?
Yeah.
So which side you want to reassemble? Right, all these, one on this side.
No, all this one comes from here.
Oh, okay. There we go. There we go. All right, so if you wanted to start on this side, what would you do first?
This one.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I'll flip it.
Go ahead. Show me how you assemble it. I gotcha. Now I see. Okay. All right, so first you're going to do probably that bearing. Yes, that's the speed gear bearing. Very good. Nice. And then
This one.
the speed gear should slide on easy. That's not press fit. Good. And then,
And this one goes with this.
okay, and that was the little two-piece synchronizer. Those are a little funny.
And then this one.
Okay, and once in a while, there's something that we have to align on this. And this is missing some keys and stuff, so it might be actually a little bit easier, but all right, I think you're probably good. Let's see if that'll tap down a little, but not much, huh? That one, sometimes those will actually tap down, but you know what we could do is we'll find a little driver and we'll just give it a little tap, and if it needs to be, it didn't seem to me like that was going to need to be pressed, but it might. Either way, we can do it like this. So if you bring it over, let's bring it over to the press. We should be done with this. Right, let's go ahead and set it down, and let's, catch the edge of that really nice. And not just the speed gear, but that actual little Voss hub. Right there, yeah, see that's sitting on there really nice. Then what we need is we need a tube that's going to go down and hit right here. And that's where, like, see, somebody was trying to use this. That one's not going to be what we need. This is where you'd look into, something like this. Doesn't look deep enough.
No.
So you gotta, that's why we have so many different random things to press different things down over here. Like this would be great, but I don't think it's long enough. So we're going to have to find something that'll work for that. We will look around a bit. That one doesn't look any bigger than this one. Let's look a little more. It's like this looked promising, but look, it hits right there. It needs to be bigger. So really, this is not correct, but we looked everywhere. We don't have this. This is going to take like a solid 12-inch driver, which we don't have. So we're going to use one like this, one like this, which is a very, very last resort, okay? And in fact, it's such a last resort that I'm going to be the one to hold it, and Rotseni, you'll get to go ahead and pump it. Go ahead. Let's send it. We'll watch that pressure reading. Let me see where that's, we might even have to put a plate on top of there. You see that? That might slide right in top, right inside. Let's do a plate like this. I'll hold it, you slide the plate in. Is that it?
Yeah.
It won't fit? Come on. Talk
You want
nice
to try
to it.
this? For
Nah, let's, you sure that plate won't fit? That plate was close. And also, sometimes this has an adjustment, but in this case, I don't think it does. No?
No.
All right. So again, this, honestly, on the job, we need to stop and say, hey, I need a different installer. But for the demo, we're going to make this happen. Give it a little pump. Let me feel. All right. Now, as you're doing that, watch that thing is just going nice and easy. Go ahead. And our pressure is absolutely zero. So really, this is not, we're not pressing hard like this. We're just lightly going to push it down. A little more. A little more. You don't have to be that careful. We're making almost no force.
Okay.
Yeah, this looks good. Keep going.
And this one has to sit properly here.
Oh, you're right. Good catch right there. Clink. Bada bink. Good job. And right there, looks good.
Okay.
Bringing it down. Keep going. Okay, hold up right there. And then go ahead and go till you give just a bit of pressure. All right, do you see how the pressure spiked up? Now let's relieve it. Okay, and then let's check it. All right, everything's moving really nice. There's a couple things right there. When it got, you saw like you weren't really sure when to stop driving it. You drive it until it bottoms out and you build just a bit of pressure, then you're good. But you were right, you had a really good catch right there. You got to make sure everything is lined up on that blocker ring. If you don't, you'll crunch it. Cool. Go ahead and hit off all the way. So like in class, you guys, you're not going to do this. Pick one where you don't have to have the extremely long driver. So it's a little less sketchy, but for the demo, we showed you it can be done. And then right here, let's do that snap ring together. You grab that. Actually, yeah, I think you could do it. You do kind of a similar type of thing. We're just going to hit that with a punch. Sometimes you can even use this, but once in a while, you can just do this directly. If I switch hands, I bet you we can do this together. You want me to hold anything? No, you want me to get the heck out of your way. The doctor is working.
Has to be harder.
It's got to be harder, but also you can lay it down a little bit. I think the tough part is we'll grab a little punch and we'll be able to hit it like for real without banging the hub. You might have it right there. Go ahead and hit the pliers. I'm holding it tight. I can't hold it tight enough. Let's grab a punch. A second. All right, here we go. But you got to be, let me choke up a little bit because we got to be really careful. This will get away from you. Go ahead. Hit it with your tiny jeweler's hammer. There you go. Nice job, dude. And then we're just going to make sure it looks like it's set. It looks like it's in there. That looks really good. All right. You just officially reassembled one side of the shaft. You get to do the rest, but you get the gist, right? Not that hard. You love it. And that's the transmission shaft part. Good job.